Hi everyone, welcome to another WordPress Wednesday with myself, Karen Leslie, the founder of KISS WP Websites. As a reminder, KISS stands for Keep It Simple Sweetheart WordPress Websites. We're all about keeping it simple. So today I'm going to talk about 3 things that can affect the speed of your WordPress website. Because sometimes people come to me and say, okay, I've got this WordPress website, but I think it's a bit slow. Maybe I should move on to another platform. WordPress, like every other platform out there for websites, is just a tool that you use. It really depends on what other tools you put with it and how you use it as to how fast or how slow it can be. There are several things that will affect the speed of a WordPress website, and I'm just going to cover 3 of them today. So the first one is the theme of the website. So the theme controls the look and feel. It's the fonts, the colors, the size of the fonts, the type of fonts. All this is controlled by the theme. Now, if you have a very old theme, one that maybe was around many years ago, hasn't had an update for a long time, it could be the theme that's slowing things down. Now, themes should be part of your regular maintenance. But what I have seen is that if you're on a theme whose license, so it's a professional theme, a paid for theme, and the license has expired, they may no longer be telling you that it needs to be updated. So you need to actually go in and check the version of the theme that you're running, and just in a search engine, put the name of that theme and what the latest version is. Some themes are just completely out of date. They may not have been updated in over 5 years. They may not be actually developed anymore. The author, the developer of the original theme may have given up on it, especially whether it's free or paid for that matter. They may have given up on it. So you've not had any updates, and it can actually be slowing down or causing errors with your website. So the theme is one of the things to look at. Another thing to look at is you may have a page builder. Now, this may be part of the theme, like with Divi, they come together, or it may be something like Elementor or Beaver Builder. Now, the more modern ones like Beaver Builder or Elementor, I find are quite quick. They shouldn't slow down your website. Older page builders may be slowing down your website. And the page builder is to help you really control exactly where all the information appears on the different pages of your website, what the header can look like, what the footer can look like. That's the kind of thing that the page builders do. But you want to make sure that they are not slowing down your website. One of the other things that can really slow down a website is the size of the images that you're loading. Now, devices come in all shapes and sizes, from smartphones to enormous big screen TVs that are now internet capable. So people in theory can have this massive screen on their wall and be looking at your website. So yes, we need to cater for the different sizes, but I'm not necessarily talking about the size that you see on a screen, but more about the memory size that it takes up on your website. When you take a photo with either a camera or even a smartphone, it adds all extra information in there about the phone settings, the photo settings that we don't need on a website. All we need is the image itself. So before you load up an image, one, you probably don't need it the big as the size that most images on smartphones now are maybe 4,000 or 5,000 pixels across. You don't need it that big. Maybe 1,000 to 2,000 is the biggest you're going to need. So there's that size, but there's also the memory size. With a lot of smartphones, they may take, and cameras as well, the images that they take, even if it's a simple image, can be about 4 megabytes in size. Now that is really big for a website, and what that means is it's going to be slow to load. Not everybody is going to have super duper fast internet. So you've got to remember that you don't want to load this enormous image with this massive amount of memory if it's going to take several seconds to load. When people arrive at your website, especially the homepage often has some big images on it, if it's too slow to load, they'll simply go elsewhere, especially if you've got a product or service that they can get elsewhere. If yours is a bit unique, or you're with a small local community, maybe they will still come to you and maybe they'll wait for your website to load. A lot of the time they won't, they'll simply leave, go elsewhere. So for your website, for images, you want to optimize, or compress is another word for it, to get rid of all the stuff that you don't need. It won't affect the quality of the images on the website. It will make your website faster. So plugins that you can use for this are things like Short Pixel and Tiny PNG. Just look through the WordPress directory, or the plugin directory, you'll find things there for image optimization. Short Pixel is a personal favorite of mine, but there's also Tiny PNG. So those are the three things you want to think about. Your theme, and making sure you've got the latest version of your theme. Your page builder. So personally, I find that Divi can be quite slow on some websites. I don't know whether that's one of the other three things that I'll talk about in another WordPress Wednesday that's affecting it as well, or whether it's the page builder just on its own. I've also read things that say it's slower, but I've not personally tested it. So just be aware that your page builder could be slowing it down. And the third thing was the size of the images. Make sure they're as small a memory as possible. So get them optimized. Those are the three things I'm going to talk about today. There are other things. Now, if you want to check the speed of your website, if you go into a search engine and type things like search website speed test, you'll come across ones like GT Matrix, Google Page Speed, Pingdom. Those are the three ones I think of off the top of my head. They measure different things. They can measure how quickly the website loads to begin with. They can measure how quickly the website becomes interactive so that people can do things on it. Some of them used to tell you which images were really big. GT Metrics used to do that. I'm not sure whether it still does. But having something like Short Pixel, Tiny PNG, something like that, that will optimize the images for you so that you're not slowing down your website. Your website needs to be fast. I'll cover the other three things in another WordPress Wednesday. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Karen from KISS WP Websites. Keep it simple, sweetheart WordPress websites. If you're not sure who to turn to and you have a problem with your website, come along to our website, book in a chocolate and a chat. It's a 30-minute complimentary session. That means free. Free session, a chocolate and a chat, 30 minutes. You can book it when it's convenient for you. And during that time, you can tell me what's going on with your WordPress website, and I can help you with either suggesting some plugins, some training, and some other people in my network that can help. Book a chocolate and a chat, and I'll put the link in down below. This is Karen from KISS WP Websites. Until next time, remember you want to keep your website fast. I'll cover the other three things in another session. Until next time.